Hi, I'm Manny Fernandez,
I'm Marla Fernandez.
and we're doing this video for Word for the World Baptist Ministries, and we're proud to see what God is doing in our lives. And so let's just take a tour of our church here today. God has led us to Eagle River as church planters to reach a community that has not been reached in many, many years. It took us a long time when we started meeting in the community room downtown next to the library. We were only meeting one time on Sunday morning for Sunday school and for our regular service. And we decided to pray for a church building. We've had many people telling us that we should rent a building, but God actually put it on our heart to pray to give us a building, and we gave him the benefit of the doubt where God would give us a church building. 11 months after we decided to start praying that, God answered our prayers by giving us this wonderful beautiful building. It needed a lot of renovations. We were also given about $125,000 in cash with the building. We used the vast majority of that to go ahead and renovate the interior of the building and actually make it more safe for people and more appealing for people when they come in. Now, the pews that you see in the auditorium weren't there. There were just some brown chairs. And actually, we had prayed. I wanted to pray that God would give us pews. And we didn't have money to buy pews, and we spent a lot of money on the renovations of the property. We just didn't have money. And so we asked God to give us pews. God miraculously gave us pews. And I mean, it was a direct answer to prayer. The week before we were supposed to open, I got a lead to be able to get some new pews donated to our church, but it wasn't certain. And the church that was giving them away said that there were a lot of people ahead of us, but he prayed about it and he decided to give it to us. And God had allowed me within 2 hours to be able to have a friend help me to get all of these pews into the church. We ended up having to open up a week late in October, where we were going to open up earlier, but we opened up a week late so that we can have the pews installed correctly and the church cleaned up properly for people to come in. God answered our prayers in giving us this beautiful building. We had a lot of visitors at first when we first opened up. Every week there were a lot of out of town visitors actually around during the holidays, and they would come in from the lower 48. But after the holidays were over, we saw a decrease in visitors, and so after about a couple of months, we really were praying and saying, God, the weather is too difficult for us to be able to even go out sometimes. We're talking about, negative temperatures. We're talking about snowstorms, we're talking about blizzards, and these are all hindrances to the ministry up here in regards to door knocking. And so we've thought outside the box a lot, sending people mail, calling people at their homes, and advertising on the internet. We still didn't see really hardly any visitors, but we prayed. We decided, said, Lord, we're going to pray that you give us visitors. And, God started opening up people's hearts. He led us to some people that were really receptive to the gospel. And we prayed for even a family that would come into our church and be a help to us. And it seems that God is providing that to us as well. And so everything that we're doing here in this church is through answer to prayer. We are so excited to see what God's going to do for us in the future. The summer's coming up, and unfortunately, the best time for us to even be able to go out here in Alaska and do any sort of door knocking or advertising or any sort of outreach is got to be in the summertime. With our church being in its infancy, and with me not having anybody to cover for the church, it's unfortunate that we can't make it to Rossville this year. We really were hoping to be able to do that. But I just want to pray that we would get a good amount of visitors and even some church members this summer. And so I thank you guys. Pray with us on these things. And we're asking that you continue to support us with your prayers. We need it. We feel it when people are praying for us. We feel it. And so thank you, Word for the World, for what you do. And we're happy to help you any way we can. God bless. The Savior heard my